Hello and welcome to FatbossTV. Today we're looking at the Iron Docks, which is a 5-man dungeon on the Warlords of Draenor Beta.
Yes, the Iron Docks. It's a pretty cool instance. It's not bad. It's like set for like level 92. So, and of course, this is the last one that was released. So this is all of the 5-mans have been.
And I haven't done this one yet.
No.
I have not seen this one at all yet.
It's pretty decent, if I'm honest. But there's 4 bosses in it. It's for around level 92, so you'll be doing it quite early on.
Yeah.
While you'll be like something to do while you level up.
And it's in Gorgrond.
And it is in the top of Gorgrond, like right at the very top. There's quite a few instances in Gorgrond actually, which is a bit peculiar. They're kind of been huddled around there, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And the idea of this place, by the looks of it, it seems that you're going in there and you're kind of destroying the iron hordes, like another sort of transport hub. Really, it's kind of similar to the Grimrail Depot sort of thing. You're kind of going in there and you're kind of fucking everything up, like you're destroying all of their stuff.
So you're here to just kill shit.
Yes, pretty much.
Kill all
shit.
the fuckers.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing, and it's a pretty good instance.
So let's move straight into it. Let's start from the start. What goes on?
So when you do first enter the instance, you'll first notice that this instance has a shit ton of trash.
Oh, great.
The trash itself is relatively simple, and there's quite a lot of ranged mobs. That's like kind of a problem because it's quite hard to grip them all up. Like if you had a Death Knight, it'd be fairly easy, but they will always cast ranged spells. Yeah. Really quite irritating.
Can you interrupt them? You
cannot. No. Half the time you can't. And if you do interrupt them, they'll just stay there anyway. But one thing that does happen is that these fire arrows spawn from the sky, and this is actually a mechanic on the boss as well. So you got to move from them because they do a ton of AoE damage, like pulsing around them. So you got to make sure you move from them. But there's a lot of trash. Generally, you don't want to pull too many at once, but you do actually want to clear them all because when you do pull the boss, which is this fella right here, Fleshrender Nokgar, what happens is, apart from him doing his mechanics, he kind of throws a wobbly and pulls a lot of trash nearby. And like,
what trash that you should have cleared? Yeah,
trash you should have cleared. So yeah, we had a bit of an accident, you could say. Quite a lot turned up. It was quite hard to pick up. Once again, all these trash mobs, a lot of them are ranged. And
is that him dead?
No, we wiped. But yeah, so when you pull the boss, he has got only a few mechanics while he's on his mount. He starts off on his mount. And really the mount is just kind of wailing on the tank. You don't really need to worry about it generally.
Right, okay.
But it's these fire arrows that you need to be worried about. Whenever these do come in, it's pretty much a permanent movement situation. So you want to be permanently moving until the arrows stop coming
because they land in your previous location.
Exactly. And it's generally, they come in waves. The boss every now and then will shout, "More arrows!" So send more arrows. But once you do kill the mount and he gets off of his mount, he has really not got too much to say about it, to be honest. He kind of just continues to do the arrows, but he has got this fear shield that has like if you hit him, you get feared for 5 seconds.
So the idea is you stop attacking when it's up.
But the problem is you don't ever really know when that's going to happen. It kind of just is, here's the shield, and it's like, oh, my spells are traveling towards the boss. So I think DBM, of course, will hold your hand big time on this, but maybe if you had like a bit of a channel, might help out. Also, some of these, you see this arrow lady, she's actually supposed to be on the top. They kept teleporting down.
Right.
It seems like they was trying to get in melee range, so they kind of like evade teleported. Bit weird. I assume that's not intentional, that they kind of spawn throughout the fight by accident.
So the boss is just moved from fire
and
don't hit the shield when he's got fear up.
Pretty much, and the tank does take a ton of damage though, so you really want to be keeping on top of the tank. So it's even as a DPS, it's kind of your job, don't fuck up, because otherwise the tank might die. But yeah, that's the boss, fairly simple. But you move on to this way.
Whoa. Okay.
And you got these giant Gorgrond people.
Looks amazing, man. Yeah, this area looks sick.
It is very, very cool. It gets even cooler. But I wanted to show off these guys. They kind of hit the tank, but they also do an AoE.
Right.
To be honest, if you could pull more than one of them, you might have an issue. So you want to be quite careful and conservative. But you see these 3 glowing iron stars?
I do.
You see that I could maybe enter it as a vehicle. Let's see what happens.
No.
So you jump in it.
What?
And you aim it. You've got a fairly narrow aiming cone, but you press 1 and then it flies off and kills all the trash for you. And you have 3 of them. So you use this. It's a lot of trash here, and I'm so glad they actually gave you a cool way of doing it.
That is so sick.
So you just send all the iron stars down there and they clear out the trash for you.
That is sick.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Of course, some of them are left up, and to be honest, you can just walk around them.
It really does give you the idea that they're getting along a load of shit, though. This place is huge.
Yeah, it is a very, very big outdoor area. Yeah, it's very, very big. But you get onto this area right here, and there's some traps on the ground that if you pull the big guy into, he's stunned and takes extra damage. But the thing you got to be careful of is to the right, you're getting bombarded by cannon fodder from the cannons from the boat, and it pretty much one-shots you. So this area is a little bit like a gauntlet that if you kind of fuck up, you're going to die. So you got to make sure you kind of hug the crates. You got to do a line of sight with the crates in order for you not to be hit. So yeah,
that makes sense.
So as you can see, all the cannons coming from the boss, and this is actually a mechanic for the last boss, who is like 2 bosses away.
Okay, so you're sort of learning as you go.
Yeah, you're kind of learning mechanics of bosses, like, because I'm always like, oh yeah, teach us mechanics of bosses before we go into them through trash, but they're teaching us like 2 bosses in advance, which I've never seen before, which is pretty goddamn cool.
You got these spinny blades.
Yeah, these guys, generally they don't do that much, they're just kind of annoying. There's nothing really too much to worry about.
You have to loss, and it seems like there's AoE abilities going on, so...
Yeah, so it can get a bit hectic.
Huddled up,
Yeah, it really, really can get a bit
This
hectic.
is going to be chaos on fucking challenge modes.
And on pugs. But yeah, after you clear that whole area, it isn't too long. You get to the second boss, which is a little council boss named the Grimrail Enforcers.
Right.
And unfortunately, they're a little bit crap. To be honest. Crap, darling. Yeah, they're not very good. I don't know what's up with Blizzard and 5-man in council bosses. But
yeah, because we saw the council boss again in
Everbloom, wasn't
in Everbloom, yeah, and that was pretty garbage.
Yeah, so they kind of like do mechanics. This guy sends out like traps around you. If you
that's pretty sick.
It looks nice, don't get me wrong.
And you can just move out in between the gaps?
Yeah, you can move between the gaps. If you stand in them, I was just showing you what happens if you stand in them. In a second, you just get stunned and you take ticking damage, so you've got to make sure
that's not that bad.
But one mechanic that you do really have to be careful of, which we will see in a moment, is that there'll be every now and then there'll be a shield placed on one of these mobs that if you kill the shield, it will start doing like a huge amount of AoE healing to the group. So it's kind of like Spirit Kings, you know, like Spirit Kings on Heroic don't proc the shields. Can you see he's got a shield up
you no
there.
Longer attack him.
Yeah, so you got to make sure you don't attack him. And this is actually done by the guy.
Can that be dispelled?
It can't be dispelled, no.
Right.
But this is done by the guy we got the skull on there. He actually puts it out. And to be honest, you should really focus him down first because of that shield is just annoying. And
it doesn't last that long.
No, it doesn't really last that long. But if you're in a pug and like people aren't paying attention, then people are just going to heal up. So really, it seems like just move from shit. It wasn't really too difficult to deal with.
Well, it's a 5-man.
Yeah, but another thing is that the encounter gets easier as you go along as well. This 5-man boss, like,
but there's not too much to him. I mean, I guess
like it would be nice that maybe they gain like I don't know, they gain a little bit of extra damage or something every time one of them dies.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like there's quite a big sort of lapse of
anything to do
mechanics,
at the end. Yeah. But either way, that's that boss, kind of forgettable.
Shit.
Yeah, this is the next bit of trash. You've got some dire beasts and stuff that will knock you up and get rage effects. Yeah, loads of stuff going on. It's pretty cool. This whole area is like a mixture of like both like Iron Horde orcs and their kind of animals, and you've got to clear through them, which is kind of like fitting for the next boss as well, who's a giant cat.
The fuck?
Yeah, the new cat form for druids.
That's a very sick model, though.
Yeah, it's a very, very cool model. Unfortunately, it's not a very, very cool boss. Let's be honest. It seems just to... Like, I've read through him on the Dungeon Journal, and to be honest...
just, like, no mechanics on him? Because, to be fair to Blizzard, these 5-mans that they release, we sort of cover them quite quickly, and I know that some of the 5-mans we have already done...
They have changed.
They have changed.
Yes,
some of the mechanics have changed.
So, and this was released most recently. As you can see, they did do an AoE, and it did actually hit the range more than it hit the melee, so it's actually a distance thing. He also does a turnaround that hits the melee, and he'll, like, swipe through, like, he'll just run through like that, which looks quite cool. Nothing really does much damage. But one other mechanic he did, and he only ever did this when he was on low health, for us at least, is that he'll, like, try and feed, but, like... If you do damage, it stops his feeding. But
what's he feeding on?
I don't know. I think it's a tank. It's just all a bit. That's him dead, by the way. He despawns. But I just kind of forget about this one. Just pretend it's not there. It's obviously not finished. Yeah, obviously not finished. But moving on to the last boss, which is definitely in a much better state.
Yeah, this looks sick.
It's a fucking awesome boss. So you're fighting him on his boat. And it consists of 3 mobs, basically. You got this one fella at the side, who hasn't got that much health, the one that we've marked a skull with. And what he'll do, he'll be jumping about and throwing axes and generally being a dick. So you want to get rid of him quite early. And you've also got the fella in the cannon. There you go, he's jumping about now. You got the fella in the cannon who will mark a player. And then he'll start aiming that at them. Like he'll just...
So I'm guessing that damage you can't avoid it. So you need to make sure that you're not stood near the rest of the rage. Yeah, so they don't get hit by it as well.
Exactly.
Right?
So if you get it on you, you should try and stand away from them. But it seemed like I had it on me, and I was deliberately being a dick to our druid healer. Yeah. But it didn't seem to hit him anyway. So maybe that isn't just being fixed just yet. But this is the best mechanic. He knocks you all the way back. And then you see what he was doing for that trash.
Oh.
He does this. It turns into a bit of Gears of War a little bit, where you got to kind of take cover. Okay, we're safe. Move on to the next bit. Take cover. Be safe. Move on to the next bit. As you can see here, if you look at the druid healer, that's how quickly you die. He did it on purpose. He was like, "Oh, I wonder if I'll be fine back here." Obviously,
just got one hit.
Completely destroyed. And you got to remember, this is for level 92. Just kind of leveling up, having a good time. If you fuck up,
you haven't really got like that. Well, I mean, I suppose you have enough time to move because none of you guys died, but.
Yeah, but you do have enough time.
Considering it's a one-hit mechanic for a 5-man, fuck me.
Yeah, it's pretty goddamn vicious, and he will stop it if you get in melee range of him. So maybe if you're a paladin or someone who had a really big speed increase or an immunity, you could rush up to him and maybe get him out of that phase quicker.
But I'm seeing it now in challenge mode.
Yeah, I can imagine things like that are going to be used in challenge modes and stuff like that. But it is a very, very cool mechanic and generally a very, very cool boss. But he'll just keep repeating.
So he just repeats after that point. And the cannoneer you can't kill.
The cannoneer eventually jumps out and you'll just finish him off. He doesn't actually. He only melee hits. I don't know why he bothers coming out. However,
he should have stayed in the cannon.
Yeah, well, exactly. And the thing is, the boss encounter won't be finished until you killed him as well. As you can see, we have to kite here because our druid healer's still dead. I don't know how Matt didn't die. He's some sort of legend or something. But yeah, and after you kill that fella, the whole instance is over then. But overall, it's a bit of a mixed bag of like kind of high finish bosses. But I think overall the aesthetic of the instance and kind of the way you clear the trash is very cool.
I think it's a lot better than some of the other 5-mans. And some of the other 5-mans, to be honest, I mean, I'd say most of them actually look very, very good. Maybe apart from maybe Slag Mines.
Yeah.
Slag Mines looks very, very similar to sort of most mountainy-esque cave instance.
That's true.
But yeah, this place looks incredible.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice looking instance, and I just like the way you deal with the trash, because when you first go in there, you're like, fuck this, I am not dealing with all this trash. But then you get the iron stars coming through, and they make, even though the trash might be a little bit boring, it's an interesting way of dealing with them, where, you know, when the cannon barrage is coming in from the boat, and you're kind of learning mechanics of bosses 2 bosses away. Very clever. I think it's really good, and it's a nice short instance. We did it in about 20 minutes, and we wiped quite a few times on just stupid stuff, testing it out. So
I can't wait to do this place in challenge mode.
Yeah, it should be very, very good.
That's all we've got time for today, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you would like to see more, then do click up on the annotations you see on the screen now. And of course, you can always click the playlist and you can go watch all the other 5-mans we've done. That's pretty much all of them now, actually.
Yeah,
it's all
so
8 done.
Every single 5-man done.
So yeah, they're all on our channel. Go check them out. And of course, we'll see you on the live stream.
Thanks for watching.